Good day everybody, welcome to today's video. Today's video may be one or two-part series, and that is changing the intake exhaust gasket on your Jeep TJ, commonly found on the 4.0 engines. If you have the smaller 4-cylinder version, the steps may be similar. This in itself is a very time-consuming job because we got to remove everything off the intake manifold here to remove it, plus we have to drop the exhaust from the bottom. It's going to be a lot of work, probably going to be more work, since most likely we're going to be pulling this head off afterwards. Just take this, bump it off the clip, flip it up and around, pull this. Oh, that's tight. Pull that vacuum line off. This electrical cable up here. This one here connects to an O2 sensor down below. This one connects to something that I don't have on my Jeep. And then these red tabs pull up. And then you just push the tab in. Oh, sometimes they pull out too. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Just gotta slide her back into place. There we go. On the top side, we got two electrical connections right here on the throttle body to remove. We got the vacuum line to the brake booster to pull off, and the air intake temperature as well. I think, yeah, this one has a lock. Oh, there we go. So those are all taken care of. What's going to go underneath? I think we're just going to go up. And that is the block heater cord that I've never used in my life. Now down below we got 3 vacuum lines to remove, and there's also a bolt right there, and that holds on the evap lines and the high pressure fuel line rail. Remove that, pull it out of the way so you could get the manifold out. Yeah, there's not much swing room in here for sure to get that out. Bleed off the fuel Schrader valve if there's any gas pressure left in there. Should probably get a rag, but it's been sitting for a while, so yeah, some shot out. Nothing major. Yeah, it's definitely this one. There we go. You know, header bolts usually are never your friend. These ones are actually coming out pretty easy, but then again, I did use anti-seize on them. I installed the bank torque tube headers about 4 or 5 years ago, so obviously it worked. But for peace of mind, I just want to make sure that they all break free. This one right here is the one where the manifold gasket is busted out. Alright boys, this is where all the cursing and swearing is gonna happen. Yanking this Y pipe out and then trying to get your grubby little hands into the exhaust manifold. Once you have your exhaust dropped, it's a good opportunity to have a look at the catalytic converter to see what kind of shape it's in. Screens are looking good. You could reach in and snake over right from the manifold, right up top. But those two in the middle. I'm not sure how those ones are going to play out. Okay, this is my tip for getting the bolt under injector number 3. I shone a light through the middle of the intake manifold, and with the Banks torque tube headers, I fished my wrench behind and was able to bust it free. So I'm going to loosen her off a little bit, and then not take the bolt out fully, but loosen her off enough that I can pull the intake out. If you watch through that peephole right there, you'll be able to see it. So this is my tip for behind injector number 4, I guess you want to say it is. So with the fender off, you can see my wrench. So basically, I just reach through and I can see it, the light up at the top. I know it's kind of hard to see, you guys kind of see it, but that's how you're going to get that middle one. It's a little harder to do it from the bottom because you're reaching up. It's easier to reach through and then torque it. But if you're leaving the fender on, then of course you're going to have to find your own way. Now it ultimately depends on what year and model you have. I got the Banks torque tube headers, and I found that the 2 bolts between 3 and 4 were really hard to get out, and you don't have to take them out completely. You just have to keep loosening them enough that you can get it past that dowel pin and then pull the intake manifold out. Once the manifold is removed, the 2 bolts or nuts, I should say, at the very end, remove them last, and those hold down the exhaust header, and then it'll just pull right out. Now, if you're replacing the gasket, then you're going to have to scrape everything off the head and carry on. Alright, well, I'm going to end the video there of the intake manifold removal. This is not going to be a video series, unfortunately, like stated in the beginning, that we were going to replace the gasket because we decided to go a different route and do an LS swap in the Jeep. So I want to apologize, but if you got it off, you'll be able to get it back on, probably with some great difficulty. So I'm going to end the video here. If you guys have any questions or comments, post them below. And I want to thank you guys for watching. And if you want to see more Jeep videos, check out my playlist. I'll see you guys in the next video.